Hi, and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT with his, what's this, I've noticed you've been wearing these hats, Behave. What's this?
Behave.
Is that a brand, your brand, is that?
Yeah, it's my brand.
Yeah?
Yeah. Keep a close eye. Keep a close eye.
Behave.
Behave. Behave, will ya?
Behave, will ya? It's alright, actually.
It's all right,
look bad. Where's my one then?
I've got to get one to fit your head.
Well, if it can fit your head,
Yeah!
it can fit my head.
I was waiting for that.
It fit your head.
I'll get you one. I'll get you one.
The international break, is over now.
Yeah.
And it's back to the real stuff. The real thing. And I've got to say, man, what do you think of these international breaks and international football?
Crap. Unless it's the actual tournaments, I'm not interested at all. It's boring. It's pointless.
What about this new, because they've introduced this new league thing. They played against Spain, and it was. To be honest, I watched that game. It was a decent game. They lost. But it was a decent game because it was a competitive game, and you could see it was played in a more competitive way. There was, didn't have all the substitutions and all that. No,
it's rubbish. It honestly is. The only thing that I take out of that from the game against Switzerland, for example, was the atmosphere was better because it weren't played at Wembley. So I think that unless it's certain qualifiers and stuff, I think that they should take the games around the country.
I was actually at that game the other night.
Yeah, I noticed.
In Leicester.
Yeah, in the FIFA lounge, yeah? Chilling.
I wasn't in the FIFA lounge.
Oh, FA lounge, sorry. FA lounge.
I was in the FA lounge.
I was thinking of another event.
The mate took me there for my birthday. It was my birthday the day before.
Graham.
Right? And where was your? What did you buy me? Where's your present?
I left you alone for the day.
Where's a drink?
I left you alone for the day.
Not even a drink. Not even a happy birthday. Nothing.
Excuse me. Thank you very much. I sent you a birthday shout out on Twitter.
Did you?
Yes.
What did it say? Probably having taking a mick or something.
It was like happy birthday to Robbie, Arsenal Fan TV. And then I accompanied it with one of your reggae videos.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I know you.
It was the one, What Women Want, where you change your voice in between, and you change your voice to a woman and then a man. Me here.
If anybody knows anything about reggae, he just sounded like Eka Mouse.
Rasta Mouse.
Or Rasta Mouse, yeah.
But, I sent you a birthday shout out.
I didn't see that, sorry.
Yeah,
right? But, I went to that England game, and the game was terrible, man.
It was shocking.
The game was terrible. I mean, you're right, the atmosphere is better, because they did it at Leicester, and obviously, like, guys like Harry Maguire, they got great receptions.
You met Jamie Vardy as well, didn't you?
I met Jamie Vardy as well, yeah, right. But the game, man, Jesus. And the thing that we've been talking about for so long, about the lack of creativity in midfield, was there to be seen in that game. Eric Dyer in midfield.
He was captain. And I had a thing about that before the start of the game. I was like, how is Eric Dyer captain? It's like...
It's ridiculous.
It's not a Tottenham thing. It's a football thing.
I don't rate him. And the other thing as well, right, is Welbeck's goal the other night. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was...
That guy got robbed.
Should never have been disallowed. De Gea jumped over him and landed on him. Welbeck just stood there like...
And then he took it very well. I felt so sorry for him, right? Because you get a little chance... to get on. And this is the other thing as well. I remember in the summer, right, having big arguments with Tottenham and Arsenal fans, right? They were laughing me out of the place, right? When I was saying to them during the World Cup that, Harry Kane for me, he looks knackered or something's wrong with him, right? After the group stages, right? And we keep persisting with him. Why are we not giving Welbeck a run out? Because he's got such a great record of scoring for England. No matter what you think about Welbeck, his goal-scoring record for England is excellent, right? And sometimes you've got players like, remember Miroslav Klose, who used to play for Germany? Yeah. He didn't light it up for his club, but every time he put that German shirt on, he was brilliant.
Scoring goals, yeah.
And for me, if somebody scores goals every time he puts that England shirt on, he's dangerous. You've got to play him. And look at the other night. By rights, his goal should have been the equalising goal against Spain. Yeah. And it's like they don't want to give the guy a chance. I feel sorry for him.
Do you know what the thing is on a personal level, I don't care if Harry Kane gets burnt out because it's good for us. Sorry.
That's true.
But you look at it, the end of the World Cup, we were playing what was a pointless game against Belgium, and he still played in that. That was the perfect opportunity to say, right, the lads that have all travelled over here that haven't really had an opportunity.
But they were trying to make sure he got the golden boot. You know what I mean? This is what's wrong.
It's just, I told you, we already know it's selfishness. At the end of the day, he took a goal off one of his own teammates, so says it all. Comes into the start of the season, Pochettino's to blame for not giving him the time off. You know, I see some pundits this week that were talking about it and said that Pochettino should have been the one at the start of the season that said, we need to think long term. So for the first 2-3 games, you're not playing. It might be a massive gamble, but you're not playing. Go on holiday, go and have a rest, recharge your batteries mentally and physically. Then come back, because I need you over the course of the season. But he didn't. He was involved in the very first game. So he's literally had no time off mentally or physically. And that is one of the biggest things that you've got to look out for is the mental side of it. Because the mental preparation for games and everything. And then Southgate the other day, he didn't need to play him. He didn't need to.
Why bring him on in that game?
Let's look at a comparison, right? Aubameyang went off to Gabon. Was to be involved in 2 games. The Association of Gabon have looked at the second game and said it's a friendly, it's pointless. He's got a massive game for Arsenal this weekend. They're playing on Saturday. He's done a lot of travelling. Let's release him, send him back to the club, so that we keep the relationship nice with the club. So Arsenal think thanks for that. By Wednesday morning, Aubameyang's back in training, fresh, ready to go for the Newcastle game. Because there was that kind of, Gareth Southgate could have done the exact same thing. He could have said, look, Spurs have got a massive game against Liverpool this weekend. It's the early kickoff as well.
Yeah.
Let's release him. Yeah, let's give the likes of Danny Welbeck and that their chance. We don't need Harry Kane here. Let's release him, send him back to Tottenham. Maybe he goes away for a couple of days, just somewhere. Doesn't have to leave the country, but goes away for a couple of days with his missus. He's got a newborn child as well. So there's the added pressures of what goes on at home. Let's send them off for a couple of days. Go and have a break. Don't need to worry about us and get yourself ready for the game on Saturday. But no, didn't. So,
well, in a way, I suppose I'm glad that Welbeck came off because Welbeck is going to play a role. I think Unai Emery might be looking at it and thinking to himself, if I play to Lacazette and Aubameyang, I've got to have something in reserve on the bench if it ain't going right. And Welbeck came on in the game against West Ham, scored. So maybe he's looking at it like that. He's looking at I've got that player that can come off the bench and play as a striker if need be. So he's got a role to play. So maybe, but I just felt bad for him that goal was taken away from him.
I think Welbeck's going to start in the Europa League game.
And you've got Europa League games and all stuff like that coming up.
Brentford Cup. So I think that Welbeck will start in those games. And it's down to the players that start in those games to lay down some markers.
Yeah.
Because Emery seems to have a basis of what he likes, the players he wants and uses. So the ones that are not really getting that much time, it's a opportunity for Bird Leno. Presuming he doesn't play again. Burned.
I thought you said Bird.
No, not Burned. Burned. Presuming he doesn't play against Newcastle. I'm presuming he won't. And Emery's just going to stay with what he is. So it's a chance for him. Lichtsteiner, if you presume that he's not going to come in.
Listen, now I saw him playing the other night.
Told you, didn't I?
Right, and I'm sorry. I like what I saw.
Told you.
Because I'm looking on it and I'm thinking to myself, away game against Newcastle, he's the type of guy you need. There was one moment in that game, I was watching it. I was keeping my eyes closely on him and Xhaka, right? Because I'm like, I want to see what they're like for their country. Obviously, Lichtsteiner's captain. And there was one time where they were playing like 3 at the back and he was bombing forward down the wing. And there's one time, I forget which England player it was, but England won the ball and they was in on the 3 at the back. And he sprinted back and it was a foul, right? But he done it deliberately, he got booked for it. But he still got back and stopped a potential counter-attacking goal. And I looked on that and I was like, Hector Bellerin, would he have done that? Would he have got back? And maybe it might be time for this guy to start. And also there's the rumours going around that he ain't been too happy that he's on the bench. That's the rumours that, he's been saying that, listen, I ain't come to Arsenal to sit on the bench.
No, well, he's been on the bench 3 games in a row, and that's the first time in his career that's happened.
Yeah, so...
And he has said he will get his chance, so I think that he's been told you're going to get your chance, but...
I think that chance should come this weekend.
I told you, man.
It probably is going to be Bellerin because,
Admit I was right.
It's probably going to be Bellerin, right?
Admit I was right.
Because what it is, right?
Stop waffling.
With Bellerin...
Admit I was right.
Bellerin wouldn't have played any games, wouldn't he? He hasn't had no international games, so he would have been there, been able to prepare... for 2 weeks.
That's great. That's
right?
wonderful.
So maybe Lichtsteiner might come in.
Come on, admit I was right.
Right about what?
About Lichtsteiner. I told you about this guy. You said, yeah, but he's never played in an Arsenal shirt. We don't know what he's like. He's 34 years old. Can he get up? I told you.
Well, we don't know what he's like yet.
That guy's got the physicality of a 26, 27-year-old.
That's what he keeps saying, yeah.
He can get up and down.
Yeah, he was. He was getting up and down. He looked very fit.
What I like about him is what I said to you, and it comes with experience, is knowing when to go and to stay.
Yeah.
And,
I'm going to admit you're right. From what I saw...
A first ever... What is it?
No. The thing is,
the 14th of September 2018. Robbie Lyle admits that I am right.
At least I admit.
I know.
Well, you're
never right.
You never. But no. What it is with him, right? Obviously, listen, because of his age, I've seen what he's done. He's not a surprise. We've seen what he's been doing over the years. He's an excellent player. It's just whether can he do it in the Premier League. But from what I saw there the other night, I'm like, it's time for him to start. Yeah. Because I just saw a guy there, and he was constantly talking to all the other Switzerland players, directing guys and stuff like that. He was absolutely angry when England scored. I like what I saw there, man, and I think it's time for it. I think it's time. A game like Newcastle away, where it could be one of those where there's going to be periods of that game where
and it needs to the thing is
and the failings have come through our fullbacks recently.
Well, this is the thing. I've spent the international break having a look back on our games this season just to kind of analyse them properly and look at them with a clear head. And you said it there. The problems have come from the fullback areas, not the central areas. I think our centre backs have actually done pretty well this season. Mistakes have come from Petr-Cech with silly clearances. He could have literally conceded about 4 goals this season because of his kicking.
Mind you, Butland the other night for England,
he nearly shocking.
He nearly done a check. He nearly done the same thing, pass it into his own net.
That. Bellerin gets too far forward and then gets caught out at the back. And the same with the left-hand side as well. Before Monreal's. There's been less down the left-hand side since Monreal's there.
There's less problems down there, yeah. But Monreal, even against Cardiff,
I thought
it was shocking.
That was one of his worst performances.
Yeah, they allowed loads of crosses to come into the boxes on both flanks, right? And I think this week, Rafa Benitez would have looked at that, and they got that guy Richie, who whips in a brilliant, ball into the box. They're going to be doing that all game. Yeah, and that's why I think a Lichtsteiner might be a good shout.
Exactly, and like I said, even the shout with a goalkeeper situation, I know for a fact that Newcastle this week will be working on shutting Petr-Cech down.
It's going to be, I did an interview yesterday with Matty from the Magpie channel, their Newcastle channel. And I was trying to say to him, how do you think Newcastle are going to play? Because are they going to do that, which is what they did to us last year? I remember they shut us down. They closed us down really, really quick, denied us space, and they had a lot of joy, yeah? Whereas I've seen them play this year, though, when they played, for instance, against Chelsea, where basically they parked the bus and gave Chelsea all the possession and tried to catch them on the counter. I don't know. It's hard to know how they're going to play.
I can't see them playing like that against us. If they play like they did against Chelsea, I would love them to play like that.
Yeah. They kind of played like that against City as well.
I know, but it was just so reserved. Just sat back and just said, you know what? If we can get a draw, we'll take it right now.
And they've only got 1 point so far this season. We're playing them at a good time.
Yeah.
Newcastle.
I know. The thing is, Newcastle were in my tip to be relegated. They were, and I said it's no disrespect. I said it's no disrespect to Newcastle or the fans or anything like that. It's because of what's going on. Mike Ashley's more interested in House of Fraser than he is. He's too busy trying to give away free jumbo mugs with a Donny t-shirt. You know what I mean? It's just like That's all he's interested in. He don't care about Newcastle. He don't care. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, how many people have got them jumbo mugs? Do you know what I mean? So you go to Sports Direct, that's when you get jumbo mug. But,
and a bag.
And that's it. And it's just like
big bags.
but at the end of the day, that's all he cares about. And you know, Rafa Benitez, I could see before the start of the season that he didn't care. That he was angry with some of the transfer dealings. He couldn't get what he wanted.
They ain't giving him no money to buy no players or nothing.
You can have all the support in the world, the great fans and everything else, but it ain't going to win you points.
We think we got it bad.
I know, they got it really bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I
feel
sorry for the Newcastle fans. I really do. And it's just, you know, they're a big club in terms of the size and everything. Not so much in terms of what they've won. But in terms of like the stadium, the fans and everything else, they're massive. Huge support up in Newcastle. And, you know, I still don't get why someone hasn't actually come in and bought them yet.
Of course, he wants way too much money for it. That's
Maybe
why,
they should offer him some money in a jumbo mug. Do you know what I mean? Get a free mug. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, but at the end of the day, if someone buys it, then they've got themselves a good club on their hands. But at the end of the day, there's a lot that needs fixing there. They're going to have to go in and maybe you should go and buy Newcastle.
No thanks. Too far for me.
Too far.
You know, but you're right. I mean, it's a huge club. I mean, when you go up there, you see the size of the stadium. Although they put us right up the top, but you see.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started. Seriously, I mentioned it in my last interview, didn't I? That they're getting away with it again. Why have they been given 2 years?
I don't know.
Because a new rule came in saying that away fans now have to be one section of the away fans have to be situated on the lower tiers.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Most of the clubs were in the lower tiers anyway. Newcastle asked for a year's grace so that they could manoeuvre things around. You've had your year. Why have you been given a second? Surely you should be, you know, fined for it at least.
I think that Newcastle could be the most enjoyable game to go and watch a game if you're down low, you know, with the fans down there, because I think the atmosphere would be electric there.
Yeah.
It'd be brilliant. But at the moment, it's the worst place as an away fan to go and watch a game of football because you're so high up. I mean, it's high.
I can see the city.
You can look out.
You look out of the stadium.
You can. If the game's boring, you can start looking around and just.
I mean, like, oh, there's the bridge. There's the bridge over there on a clear day. It's like, wait, look over there.
Yeah,
it's just like, nah.
It is an appalling. You know what I mean? And it's like you are removed from the game.
You are.
It's like they've deliberately done it. To, you know, not the fans. I think the fans would love to have us down there, but I think that they've removed the away fans from the game to try and help them on the pitch. So it's just all their fans. It's not
worked,
right,
is it?
Well, it ain't worked,
No.
you know. But you know,
it's
so wrong. And you know, to go up those stairs, man. I remember one time seeing an old boy going up there, man. You know, he was nearly dead by the time he got to the top of those. You know, I know there's some little lift. Little lift.
Yeah.
You know, but you know,
no,
which I heard one time.
Broke.
You was trying to get into to go up there, right? Where I know you always trying to try some little thing. You know what I mean? That lift's supposed to be for like old people and things like that.
I was helping an old person.
You weren't helping nobody.
Yes, I was.
That lift is not for you.
I was a carer for the day.
Yeah.
Or should I say I was a carer for that second? I was trying. Listen, them stairs, man. That's harsh.
It's a horrible place to watch the game because of that. And it could be possibly the best place to watch a game.
And watch, Newcastle get relegated, and next year, it won't matter. So it's like, yeah, cheers for that.
Now, listen, we got to win that game, man.
Those
are the sort of games last season that we lost.
We did.
So we went there, you was there, I was there. Wasn't you at that game?
I had my
was
operation.
That when you had the operation?
Yeah.
You were lucky.
I had my operation the day before.
To say that you were lucky to have an operation is probably a bit too far-fetched, but that was an awful
trust me,
performance, man.
I was in hospital, right? And I remember I was laying down. It was the day after the operation. and I had the game on Sky Go on my
streaming.
No, a proper stream.
That game.
It was on live. Sky. It was on Sky Sports.
Was it?
Yes. Go check. Listen, I made sure.
Don't worry,
I
the
checked
Sky
that.
people will be watching this. They'll be checking it out.
You're not going to find out. I'm telling you, it was on Sky. Stream. It was on Sky.
Illegal stream.
It was on Sky. So anyway, I'm watching the game. Now, I bet you £20 it was on Sky.
All right, if
now,
you say so.
I had my eldest son with me, and I just remember the game passing me. I don't remember hardly anything of the game.
You're lucky.
And it was,
terrible.
I was high on morphine and tramadol and all sorts. And
so were the players.
Yeah. and I think it was about a good 24 to 48 hours afterwards when I was sitting there talking to my son, and I was like, did we lose to Newcastle? Don't remember anything.
It was terrible, man. I remember, if I remember rightly, we went a goal up in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Lacazette, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then after that, we just fell apart. It's one of those typical performances last year that as soon as a team gets a goal back, our head just went like that.
Wearing the blue kit.
Yeah, our head just dropped. And it was rubbish.
See, why did we wear the blue kit? Because we've always gone to Newcastle and wore red and white.
I don't know.
Marketing.
Listen, don't blame it on no kits, mate. It was the people on the pitch.
I know, but it's marketing.
Right, and for me, I want to see a difference to what I saw last year. This is where the big tests are for Unai Emery. Yeah. Right? Can you show us something different to what we saw last year? Now, at Cardiff, what I saw that was different was a lot of fight. Our heads didn't drop when Cardiff got a goal back twice. We kept going and we got the winner and quality shone through in the end, but there was still those frailties at the back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams out there still looking at Arsenal and saying, yeah, we can get them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, we don't have to part the bus against these lot, man. We get them.
But I do still feel
make a mistake. I think they honestly look at our defence
and think that
a lot of these teams are saying, don't rate it.
Yeah.
Don't rate it.
But at the same time, I think they're very cautious that we can score more than them at the other end.
Yeah, but they're going to have a go.
Yeah.
Now, these are the sort of games where I want to see a new Arsenal away from home, a new Arsenal that's going to, I want to go to one of these places like a Newcastle and put them to the sword. That's what I'd love to see.
We ain't kept a clean sheet yet.
Yeah, that's when I'll start to say to myself, you know what? I'm starting to see us really turning a corner. It's going to be away from home against these type of teams. Because last year, we lost so many of those type of games.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is an opportunity for us because Newcastle last year, at home, they were on fire. They were beating a lot of big teams. I think they beat, they had a great record against the top 6 at home. Right? But, this season, they've been poor. They've only got 1 point. This is an opportunity to go there and say, you know what, Newcastle, we're Arsenal. We're going to blow you away.
Yeah.
And I really would love to see that, because against Cardiff, even though we won, it was still...
Do you know what? I said it to you in the last podcast that Newcastle's opening 2 games with Spurs and Chelsea. If we've got any ambition or any kind of, that's where we want to be in the mix with those sides, we've got to go there and win as well. Because they went there and win,
not even a draw. You know what I mean? And last
year, Spurs weren't great first game of the season there.
Yeah,
but they managed to win.
Yeah,
Chelsea were not that great there, but they managed to win. Yeah. So they did enough, and we could scrape a win on Saturday. I'll take that all day long.
I'll take that, but I really want to see.
I know it would be
performance.
But you know what I want to see more than anything? A clean sheet.
I want to see
the only clean sheet I've seen this season is the Arsenal legends. It takes a load of 40-plus-year-olds to show them how to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, that's
true. And Jens Lehmann in goal. That's the only clean sheet we've seen this season.
Played very well in goal as well.
Cardiff ain't scored before they played us.
Yeah.
So they looked at it and went, you know what, we can have a go.
And they got 2.
Exactly. So.
And those fullbacks are going to be very important this weekend because the one thing where I think Newcastle could have joy is down the flanks.
Exactly.
They've got that guy Ritchie, as I said, can whip in balls. That guy Kennedy as well is a real handful from Chelsea. He'll be running at our...
and then they've got Rondon up front.
And they've got Rondon up front.
He will feed off those.
Yeah, and they'll be whipping it in, trying to get into Rondon. Rondon will try to get really physical with our centre halves.
Good luck with Socrates.
Right.
Trying that.
I like Socrates. He's very combative, I've seen so far. But it's going to be one of those
tough.
physical.
It will be tough.
And most of those Newcastle players have not been on any international duty, so they would have had 2 weeks where they'd be training their asses off for this game. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And I want to see a performance. Mesut Ozil. I want to see a performance. Tell me about that. I want you to come on here next week and say, Robbie, I told you, because so far this season, he's let me down, as far as I'm concerned. What do you think? He's had 2 weeks now, no international football.
Yeah, I know.
2 weeks of solid training.
I know.
He owes the Arsenal fans who supported him and got behind him following what happened in the summer with Germany. He owes the fans. They were right behind him.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And there's a few players I'm looking forward
to
seeing.
Hold on, let's go back. Wait a minute before you move on.
I've just sat there and I've not moved on. I've just sat there and said to you.
Before you talk about the few players, let's talk about him a bit, because I noticed you've been trying to skirt. I know you love him. I know we talk about this a lot on this show. I know you love him, but no, the time now has come.
And I said, yeah, okay.
The time's come for this guy.
I said yes. I said yes, he needs to repay the fans back now. All right.
What have you made of him so far this season?
Indifferent.
Indifferent?
Yeah. Indifferent.
Rubbish.
Not rubbish all the time.
I'll go as far as say so far this season. He's not a rubbish player. I love the guy. He's so talented. He's got everything. But so far this season, he's been rubbish. I want to see, these are the games where people criticise him a lot. Because they're like, yeah, where was Ozil? Away from home, guys got physical on him, which they're going to do. Because, I look on it and I think if I was a manager, I'd be saying, yeah, Ozil. Make him know you're there, yeah? Step on his toe a couple of times, rough him up, cut it out.
Emery obviously is building the team with him in mind. He said it again this week. He's reiterated his point. And at the end of the day, let's see how he gets on Saturday after a 2-week break. There's quite a few of our players that have had a break. Lacazette's had a break. Yep. Still not being in the France squad.
He's been playing well. I think so far he's possibly been our best player this season. He looks sharp in every game.
Yeah. Even
though he hasn't started every game, but I've liked what I've seen of him. He's hungry. You can see.
Torreira's got to start.
There was rumours that Torreira picked up a little knock or something, but I think he'll be all right. But Torreira has to start. Has to start.
With Xhaka. Xhaka bossed that game the other night.
Boss what?
In the midfield.
The England game?
Yeah, he was controlling everything.
Yeah,
Don't tell me he weren't.
Oh, yeah, he bossed it. They lost 1-0.
Doesn't matter. It wasn't his fault, was it?
They lost 1-0 to a very poor England.
But he was doing what he had to do in the middle.
I was there. He didn't boss it. He played it.
Wait. So hold on a minute. All the pundits were talking even at half-time that how he was controlling it in that first half.
He played okay.
He was controlling it in the
How
first
did he
half.
boss it? I was there. Boss what? I told you I was watching him.
Well, you clearly weren't watching. You clearly was watching with your tinted glasses on.
Listen, no. He played okay. He had a... This is what I say with Xhaka in that game. He had a lot of control. He picked the... He was playing... That's the other thing. You say he can't play that position for Arsenal. Oh, they're playing him too deep. Oh, that's not his position. He played exactly the same position. I was there.
We weren't playing exactly
he played exactly the same position.
Just in front. He's
just in front of the back four.
Hold
on. Last season, when you kept moaning and saying that Wenger's playing him,
in front of the back four, man.
I was there. I saw.
There was someone next to him. Can't even pronounce his name.
He sat the deepest of the two. He sat in front. Right, so same like when he's at Arsenal. First person who's picking the ball up from the defenders was Xhaka. Now, what I say with Xhaka, you tired, are you?
Yeah,
what I say with Xhaka, well, you don't like to talk about your golden boys, you know what I mean? But I'm talking, right? He picked the ball up and he's very neat and tidy in the game. He didn't really lose the ball. Distribution was good. Pass accuracy was good. But for me, when you boss a game, you've got to be playing in some killer passes and that. I didn't see a lot of that from him. He was good.
So, anyway, as I was saying, right, there was a statistic that I brought out with you last week and then you tweeted it out just after and everything. And it's the comparisons this season of players that have played next to each other in that position. Like, the one key component of all of that is the difference Torreira makes. Whether he goes next to Guendouzi, whether he goes next to Xhaka. It also had comparison of Xhaka and Guendouzi together. that pairing have scored the least amount of goals, and as a team, we've scored the least amount of goals, and we've conceded the most amount of goals with those two as a pairing. The best pairing, statistically, is Xhaka and Torreira. We've scored the most goals while those two have been together, and we've conceded none.
Bit of an unfair statistic because, no,
because
if you compare the amount of minutes that's been played.
No, because you compare Torreira and Guendouzi, they played the same amount of minutes as Torreira and Xhaka, and again, we concede goals. There's been a goal conceded in that. We've scored less. I feel that with Torreira and Xhaka there, Xhaka gets to go a little bit more forward. He builds a lot of our play. He's got the protection behind him with Torreira, which is why we're conceding less. And we're scoring more because Xhaka builds... You look at a lot of our play, it starts with a ball from him going out wide.
I do actually agree anyway. I do think that I would start the game with Torreira and Xhaka. I think the last game, I have to admit, against Cardiff, there was a lot of people having a go at Xhaka, and I think a lot of that was based on...
That one pass.
One pass.
I know.
It's a big error.
I know,
big.
But it's overall...
Because it was dumb.
Hold
on. It was dumb.
Yes, I said it was. I said it was at the time. It was stupid.
Half time, the board's gone up, 2 minutes of extra time, and then you go and put a ball across right in the middle of the park to give them the ball away for leading for them to score and put them back in the game.
What I'll say to that as well is that he gave the ball away in the centre of the pitch. There was still a lot of play from there to there. No. What I'm not saying... Listen to me. I'm not giving it an excuse. I said it was poor. It was wrong. It was stupid. But we should have dealt with that. Hector Bellerin should have closed the crosser of the ball, first and foremost. Don't let him go cross in the box. And then Nacho Monreal never kind of half-hearted went in.
Fell underneath the ball, didn't he, sort of thing?
So there were also...
But that was a poor mistake by him. But what I would say about Xhaka in that game, I thought he stood up to the physicality of Cardiff really, really well. And apart from that, I didn't think he played that badly. And when Torreira came on later on, the two of them did look a decent combination. So I agree with you. I would definitely start with those two. I think that's going to be a physical game against Newcastle. And I think you need Xhaka in there, but with Torreira. You've got to have Torreira in there now. I don't understand...
I know.
It's time now. He's got to start.
We're talking about team selection and that. Where's our board?
Where's the board, man?
In the car. Oh, again. In the car. So while we're on the subject, where's the new backing? Where's the new backdrop?
Can't be backdrop.
Backdrops are right.
We told the listeners.
Robbie knows.
Listen, we told the listeners on week 1, that by next week, we're going to have a whole new set.
How many weeks?
5.
5 weeks.
5. 5 weeks later, we still got the same old set. All we got is some new mics.
It's Arsene Wenger of studios.
You know what I mean?
The Arsene Wenger of studios.
So can we get can we get an ETA while we're on camera of when the new set will be up? If you've got it.
No. There's a few things that I need.
There's still a few things waiting, is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Like what?
The polls and stuff.
The polls.
All the stuff is there besides the polls.
Okay. So, any idea when the polls are coming? Any idea when the polls are coming?
Next 2 weeks.
Next 2 weeks, so that'll be 7.
I haven't been given on the date.
So we may as well say that we're going to have a new set next season.
After the next
Do you know what I mean? Sort your staff out, Robbie.
You better expose the man on camera, man.
You know what I mean? You know why? Because he's always sitting there. I can see him out the corner of my eye when you're talking, nodding away at you, like, yeah. And then whenever you say something, he's sitting there laughing. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to beat you up on camera, man. Do you know what I mean? And you know that one board in your car? I bet it's only one, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, where's mine?
Speak to Robbie.
Yeah, we said we're going to get 2, innit?
I didn't say that.
You know what I mean?
All right, we're going to have to do it without the board.
Yeah.
So in goal.
Bernd Leno.
Do you know what? The thing is about it, right? How I'm looking at it now, we've waited so long for Leno to start, right? I'll start with Czech. And the reason being, right, is that... No, listen to what I'm going to say.
You did all of that to say you start with Czech.
No. No, because I'm going to say we've waited so long for him to start now. You're going to get opportunity to start in the Europa League, right? And then I can have a look at him because let's be honest, right? We haven't really seen what he's like anyway. He played like a few. He played in pre-season, and in that game when we played in pre-season, I think it was Napoli, we hammered them, and he didn't really have a lot to do.
No, but I like the way he played out from the back in that game.
And I want to see him in a game. And to me, if he plays against that Vorskla and he plays well, then he's got to go in. I don't know. Because this game, we know it's going to be... It'll be a bit of a... Is it the right game to throw him in? I think I'd rather start him at a game at home.
What would you spend that kind of money for? Let's say Petr Cech gets injured in the first 5 minutes.
Then he's got to play, innit?
Yeah. So...
All right. I don't know, man. It's
you're debating.
I'll start Cech and then I'll see Leno next week and then I'll decide. Right? So...
Back four. I've gone for Lichtsteiner, Socrates, Mustafi, Monreal.
And I'm going to agree with you. I'd take
in one day.
Time to take Bellerin out of it, put Lichtsteiner in this type of game away from home. I think it's perfect to put him in.
To the next two, because he obviously plays 4-2-3-1. So the next two, I've gone for Torreira and Xhaka.
Agree with that as well. Right. Torreira and Xhaka, they've got to be in there.
With the three, Özil, but playing in a 10.
Yep.
Not on the right.
Agree with that.
Playing the 10. Aubameyang left.
Yep.
And then it was a toss-up between Ramsey and Mkhitaryan for that other position, and I went with Ramsey.
No, so I've gone different, right? So you got Lacazette in there as well, yeah?
Yeah, he's the main striker.
Yeah.
I'm going with a three.
Yeah, so that three, main striker Lacazette, Aubameyang, and Iwobi, I go.
What, instead of Ramsey?
Instead of Ramsey and Mkhitaryan, I go Iwobi, because I just think that there seems to be a little bit more width, less cutting inside, stuff like that. He'll pick the ball up, and in the games I've seen him play so far this season, he looks sharp. When he played against Chelsea, he was terrorising them down the flanks.
He wasn't that good against West Ham, though.
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't as great against West Ham, but I don't know. I just fancy him on one wing, Aubameyang on the other wing, Lacazette down. That's problems to a defence.
Yeah.
Even though Mkhitaryan, love Mkhitaryan, very tricky player, but he's kind of predictable. He's not going to give you no width.
Do you know what? This is
and Ramsey's not going to give you no width.
What I like is that we're sitting here with a selection headache. It's nice, you know.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the players that have not been playing. We should have a strong side in the Europa League.
Yeah.
And the Carabao Cup. We should have a strong side. I'm looking, you know, I know we're looking ahead and everything, but, you know, I look at those games, you get the chance to see Leno, you get the chance to see Lichtsteiner if they're not playing this weekend, for example. I don't know who's going to play at left back. Maybe the young lad that's in the under 23s.
Klassen should be back soon, isn't it? Because they're saying
he's not going to
October.
be back. He's not going to be back yet for this, so we're going to have to Rob Holding, Mavropanos.
Yeah.
Be good to see them. You know, maybe it's a good opportunity for some of these players, and people like Mkhitaryan and Iwobi and that who may not be starting games will get opportunities. Welbeck and maybe Eddie Nketiah.
Smith Rowe as well.
Smith Rowe, because I watched the game against Coventry.
Yeah.
The other night
He's
in
a
the
baller.
Checker Trade. We might win that.
Maybe.
Yeah, the Checker Trade Trophy.
The Checker Trade Trophy, but he's a baller, Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
He's got to be knocking on the door.
Couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's got to be knocking on the door. He looks so sharp. He looks like he's ready to me. You know.
And obviously we've lost Nelson for the season.
Yeah.
So
there's another youth called Javier Michi or something like that.
I
like him as well.
The game I saw him in the game against Spurs.
Very similar to Reece Nelson. Very direct, very quick, tricky. He's another one. They've got a good youth team, by the way. So, you know, but I just think Iwobi will cause a lot of problems to.
Yeah.
You know, we got to take it to them. I want to see us right from the first whistle goes, take it to Newcastle, really be intense, really put them on the back foot. You know, we've got to get that crowd there on their backs because, you know, at the end of the day, they've only got 1 point in the season. They haven't won a game at home.
I know.
So this is an opportunity, and I want to see Ozil because he's not really earned that position as number 10.
I'm gonna.
If you're being honest,
no, I know what you're saying. I'm just like you said. We've got to put a good performance in. I'm looking forward to seeing the get. Well, what we see at the game. I'm actually taking a prop with me.
A prop?
Yeah.
What's that? What prop?
You know, last season I had this thing about like coming up with, you know, like when we played in
banners.
You know, yeah, the banners. That was the season before last. Remember when we played Ostersund? I had my ski goggles.
Yeah.
And you were like, "You're never gonna wear them again." And I wore them against Man City. And yeah, I'm bringing binoculars. I'm joking.
That ain't even a bad shout.
I'm bringing binoculars, you know. I swear to God, yeah. I'm telling. Seriously, for anyone watching at home that thinks we might be over dramatizing, I'm not going to swear, but I kid you not.
It's ridiculous.
The view, it's so high. What's the best resemblance? Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's like when they stick you in.
I think
like
Barcelona is possibly worse. Barcelona is the worst ground.
In terms of
as far as away fans, is the worst ground I've ever visited.
I'm going to say Annette about Barcelona.
What?
The bridge.
Oh God! Remember that bridge? Jesus Christ, man! You had to walk across that like this metal bridge thing.
They made a scaffolding bridge, and it was like this.
It was swaying. Oh my! The stewards, they're all kids.
Yeah.
They're like, you could see they're just straight
and
up
the
students.
And the police were just trying to fight everyone. Something
Honestly,
about the Spanish police.
Yeah, it's true. The worst ground to visit as an away fan in Europe is Barcelona. Barcelona. It's disgraceful.
One of the
supposed to be the
biggest club in the world.
That away end is disgusting. I remember we went there the last time. It was raining as well.
Oh no!
On top
roof.
of that, there's no roof. You, as you said, you're higher up than Newcastle, which that takes some going, man. You don't need binoculars up there. You need oxygen.
I've seen some better grounds in the Europa League.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of atmosphere, it was even Red Star.
Some of the grounds you go to when you think about it, man. Ostersund, where there was snow on the terraces.
I know, freezing.
Ice on the terraces.
We was even on the pitch at Ostersund. Like we actually just bowled onto the pitch, just normal. And then I'd done my disappearing act, and you're like, where's he gone now? And I'm in the changing rooms. And I'm just bowling around, and the locals were all just like, people walking around are like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm just having a look around. Is that okay? Yeah, carry on. And I'm just like, wow. Can you imagine that in the
Europa
Emirates?
League, man. I mean, this team, Vorskla. They didn't even know yet where they're going to play the game, they're saying.
They don't even know. No one knows yet. I know that they picked the venue for the Azerbaijan one. It's not the National Stadium, because the National Stadium is where the final is.
Yeah.
And this one's about 30-odd thousand, because their own stadium only holds about 6. So they're at this stadium. The one thing about Azerbaijan that I'm looking forward to is that it's 30 to 35 degrees out there.
Yes,
so man's getting a tan.
And also speaking to this guy I know, and he works for Williams, the F1 team, and he said to me, he goes, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
the city,
I've heard it's
Baku's
beautiful.
nice. He goes, it's really
beautiful.
nice. Not too sure about Ukraine though. With his still like war torn thing.
Well, we're there when it's going to be like -10, something like that as well. So them thermals from Ostersund are coming out.
I'm sorry, man. The Europa League. What do you think?
It's going to be an adventure, man. It's an adventure. I'm looking forward to the Portugal one.
You know how many people are going to turn up for that Vorskla?
I'm not worried. I'm in a box.
No, at home.
Yeah, I'm in a box.
Yeah, I know, but listen.
So I don't care how many people. I'm not.
See, here he goes.
But the problem is.
It's games, man. I mean,
the problem is
we
right,
got to get back in that Champions League.
I don't know what the Vorskla fans are like. Like last year, what done it for me in terms of like when we played the likes of Cologne and stuff was that they brought an atmosphere to the Emirates. You know, when Milan come, they brought an atmosphere. So it was really good in that respect. But I don't know what this Vorskla's following is like. Neither have I. I think Sporting Lisbon will bring a big following.
Yeah, because there'll be a lot of Portuguese people who live here in the UK.
So that should be good. As for...
That team for Azerbaijan ain't going to bring no one, are they?
No, they're not, are they? So, but
better playing AFTV FC. They'll bring more.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just...
I don't know, man. Can you get excited about...
Not really. I
really think the Europa League's a crap tournament, man.
I didn't get excited until we drew Milan last year.
Yeah.
And where everyone was going, no, we don't need to play Milan. I was like, yes, I've just watched us play shit, with all due respect. And I goes that getting to go to the San Siro again, and it brings that.
Yeah.
It was a Champions League game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what it was. It was 2 former Champions League sides, so that had that feeling.
No disrespect to the teams in there, but.
And then Atletico, once it got to the semi-final, the atmosphere in the Emirates.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The proper games, innit? That's what I miss. I remember people used to say, "Oh, I don't care about you, Champions League, getting knocked out."
I love your accents.
I think I heard you say that.
I love your accents.
You.
No, I turned around and said.
You.
Yeah, here
yes,
it goes.
coming back to me
here
now.
Here it goes.
It's coming back to me. I hate. What's the point in being in it?
What I said.
We always get knocked out anyway. I don't care.
I turned around and said.
Look now. Look at the consequences now.
I turned around and said that for last year, I goes, do us good for a year. Get away from it. Let's experience some new grounds. I'm sick and tired.
You used to say.
I'm sick and tired of going to Bayern Munich.
You'd rather not be in it. You used to say. Because
we're never going to win it.
We're never going to win it, right?
Yeah,
look at now.
For the year.
Look at now.
For the year.
Vorskla.
Yeah, for the year.
Ostersons.
Oi, it's a beautiful country.
Beautiful country, man. Can you get up for the game next week at home? Vorskla. We'll be there, but you up for that game?
Yes, because I told you I'm in a box. I get a cheese board. I'm well up for that.
That's the only reason you're up for it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you have to sit in your seat and watch that game, you know that it's not going to be full.
I know.
We're supporters, right? You know, we're fans. We're going to be there no matter what.
What about the one in Azerbaijan? That's a trek.
Yeah, but the away game is more a thing to look forward to than the game at home.
I know, but we ain't got that many going out there.
When they play at home,
we ain't got that many going out there. And Ukraine. I think everyone's going
Karabakh.
to
Are you looking forward to that at home?
Karabakh.
You know,
that's going to be a sick game. I've always wanted to play Karabakh FC.
That's what I so miss the Champions League, man. Even down to like
when the song.
Even down to music. Yeah, when they're playing that Europa League music.
Yeah, but just change the word. What we do is when they come out, just change it and be like Europa. That's what I do. I just kind of psych myself up like it's the Champions League. I'm like,
This is what the task for Unai Emery. We've got to get back in the Champions League.
I know, we have to. Man. They're thinking of bringing a third competition.
I heard about that. A third.
But the thing is,
Who'll be in that?
You scrapped the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, they scrapped the Cup Winners' Cup, and then now they're trying to bring in all these little. And the thing is about it for me, Europa League is a rubbish competition because, as I've said many a times, you then get, you've worked that hard, you've beaten AC Milan, these teams, and then all of a sudden,
you play Atletico.
Up pops a team like Atletico that's dropped out of the Champions League, with all Champions League ready players, right? How are you going to get past those teams?
We should have.
Well, and it's going to happen again this year because if you look at some of the groups, they're really tight. There's about three groups in the Champions League that are really, with potentially teams are getting teams like Napoli and things like that.
And as well, I also think that one, if not two, English clubs are going to drop into it from the Champions League.
Yeah, Tottenham could drop into it. So
I think Liverpool and Man City are the two out of the English teams that are going to go through. But I think Man United and Spurs will drop into it.
Yeah, it's a crap competition, man. We want to win it.
Let's look forward to it. At the end
I'd
of the
love
day,
to win it.
At the end of the day, let's go and experiment and explore Azerbaijan and use it as a test for the final.
Yeah,
we can go and look at it. See what it's like. And do you know what? As well, the best bit is that the game in Portugal falls on the school holidays, so I'm actually going for the week. I'm going with the family, taking the missus, the kids, the whole lot. Going on holiday.
Cheapo, man.
What are you on about?
Trying to use that to go on a prop holiday.
Nah, man. Listen.
Trying to use that as
it's nothing to it. Listen, at the end of the day, right, during the course of the season, you know full well as well.
It's a way of getting out.
How tough it is and how much time you do spend away from your family with the travelling and stuff like that. And getting holidays during the season is near on impossible.
I can just imagine you when you said it to your family and to your wife and that. Hey, guys, guess what? The half term, I'm going to take you guys away, yeah? I've been looking at some brilliant locations and I found Lisbon.
It's funny you should say that.
Went, oh, yeah, that's so nice of you.
It's funny you should say that.
And then they found, oh, yeah, by the way, on the Thursday...
Well, this is the thing.
I knew you...
This is the thing. I've only just dropped into the conversation about the Thursday, but I'm taking the kids to the game as well.
Yeah.
I'm taking them. So
not a bad shout, to be honest.
So at the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day, like I said to you, in all seriousness, it is tough during the course of the season. We spend a lot of time away from our families through not just people only see us at the games and stuff like that. They don't realise the amount that goes on off camera and the work that's involved and stuff. So you don't spend a lot of time and see them as much, and you do unsociable hours. You do things that, you know. So pre-season as well this year, we're going off to Singapore. We're, you know, coming back from there. Then we was off in Ireland, back for a day, going to Sweden. I can see him playing a violin out the corner of my eyes, and he's only saying that. He's only saying that. He's only. You know why he's saying that? You know why he's saying that? Because he never went to none of them, yeah. Because he was actually given a time off to spend with his missus because she was cussing that he was never there. So anyway, so you can shut your mouth, right? Because you spent the time with your wife and everything, right? So at the end of the day, it's a good opportunity. Portugal is a beautiful country. So let's go over there, enjoy yourself. And one thing, the FA have pissed me off because I wanted to actually go from Portugal from Sunday to like Saturday, make a full week. But they moved our game against Leicester to the Monday.
To the Monday, I know.
So I'm only going from Tuesday to Saturday now.
Premier League, not FA. By the way, everyone always says the
Sky.
FA. And actually, yeah, it's not even a Premier League.
Sky.
It's Sky.
Yeah, Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that Newcastle game was an illegal stream.
Listen, we come towards the end of the show. Just before we go, your prediction for the game against Newcastle.
3-1.
That's exactly what I said. We get agreeing on too many
I know,
things,
too much today, man. There's something not right.
Behave, man.
Behave.
All right, we'll be back next week here. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to subscribe. Links in the description as well to download the podcast. But listen, looking forward to the Newcastle game. So glad the Premier League is back. The Real Football Fan Show returns to your screens on Channel 4 on the 14th of September, 12 o'clock midnight. It's going to be big. Make sure you check it out.